Good evening, race fans. Welcome into race 9 of 16 here for the LSRL, the penultimate race of the regular season here at the Dover International Speedway. Miles the Monster here for this evening's race. Gonna see if he claims any new victims. Got 150 laps to do it. Stage break at lap 50. Estimated fuel capacity of 54 to 57 laps. Tire sets 4 total. 1 to start, 3 in the pits, 0 fast repairs, and 3 green-white checkers to settle it. And as always, here with my co-commentator, Art. How are we doing tonight?
I'm real excited for some potential short track shenanigans here at Dover. I know it's a mile in length, but it can get dicey through these corners.
Races like intermediate, but actually I had that wrong. Races like a short track with intermediate speeds. Had it backwards. It's the best of both worlds. Concrete surface, sure to test these drivers. Here goes Michael Davis. Currently top of the board is Joshua Lawton with 23.54. Let's go on board here with the 57 down the back straightaway for his first lap into turn 3 and 4. Drive it in real deep, hope it sticks. Have it wash up just a little bit. That's okay. You're trying to arc and diamond the corner. Get a great exit on turn number 4. Loose. Back on the throttle. That'll hurt his second lap as well, but good enough for P9. 23.89. He'll have to find a little bit on the second lap. Jared Lindsay also on his second lap here. His first lap was a 24.74. We imagine he was backing up 3 and 4. Look how deep he drives it into turn number 3. He's won 3 in a row. Going for a whole month's worth. 4 weeks in a row with a win out of turn number 4. Michael Davis goes 7th. Jared Lindsay, top of the board again. Only man in the 23.4s. And that is the mark to beat. What can Jonathan Schwartz or Nathaniel Landwehr do about it? This is their first lap.
It seems so fitting that Jared Lindsay is driving the number 18 in the Xfinity cars, because that man is bushwhacking.
He is absolutely the man to beat. If you remember, joined late last season, won the last 3 races in a row, and he's won 3 in a row this season, looking for 4. Landwehr's been his closest challenger the last couple of weeks, along with Randy Arms. Landwehr, only P3. Schwartz, P2. A statistical tie, though, at the top of the leaderboard. Only 2 1/1000ths of a second separating them. And he gave it his best shot. No one else going to qualify with 15 seconds. So 14 drivers have set a time. And then 6 have elected to start at the rear of the field. Here this evening, 20-car field.
I believe Lawton was the victim of a pit road incident last year. I screamed out, he missed, and he hit the barrels.
That is, in fact, what happened last year. Remember, that was last season, but yes, the sentiment's the same. 35-mile-an-hour pit road speed here at Dover. It'll be very treacherous to get onto if they can get green flag stops, which they've proven to do more often than not. Let's go ahead and show you the championship standings as it enters tonight while they wait to grid up. The top 8 advance, and currently Ryan Tiller has a 4-point margin over his Speed Zone affiliate teammate. Tony Skierbo, Eric Shields in the mix. Chris Pinder, Corey Blevins, Samuel Demien also right in there. Can definitely point their way in over the next 2 weeks. Casey Brown, Michael McIlroy, Travis DeLeon, and really all the way down to Jonathan Mazzella will probably need a win, and they have an outside chance of pointing their way in. So we will just see how it all plays out after the conclusion of 150 laps to set the stage for next week's regular season finale. Definitely a lot of championship implications on the line here. Regular season championship up for grabs as well. Jared Lindsay in control. Schwartz, Landwehr, and Randy Arms also all in the mix for that as well. .150 laps, just waiting on a couple more drivers to grid up. And we will be underway here this evening. believe we're waiting on Travis DeLeon and William Bowman, the CMS teammates, starting 17th and 19th. And then we can get going here.
I'm going to need them to ready up.
There's Travis and William Bowman will start from the pit lanes if he is here. We got picks to win as they grid off, and I went first last week and took Jared Lindsay, so I'll let you go first this week, Art.
I feel like it's kind of obvious. I'm going to do it. I like picking winners, and I'm picking Jared Lindsay.
Gonna pick one of us is gonna pick him until proven otherwise. Give me Joshua Lawton though in the 40 machine. He showed great speed here last season before that pit road mishap. I think he gets it done tonight in a shocker.
If he can maintain, put some pressure on Lindsay, potentially make Lindsay make a mistake, could open the door wide open for anyone.
Completely agree. Randy Arms, Nathaniel Landwehr, Schwartz all so close on speed week in and week out. It's only a matter of time before one of them is able to find that little bit needed on long runs.
I believe we lost William Bowman to upload packet loss. That is why he did not connect.
A lot of storms on the East Coast tonight, so that could be something to do with it. Pace car is off. Jared Lindsay and Jonathan Schwartz lead us down through the Geico restart zone, and we are green.
Pretty comfortable start there from Lindsay. Hellman Schwartz have a decent lead on the two behind. Schwartz not going to drop in behind. He's going to stick on his quarter panel. Now he falls in line. Little battle there between Lott and Nathaniel Landwehr. P3 still up for grabs as Jared Lindsay takes control of this race. On makes contact with Landwehr. Landwehr able to save it. That's going to drop him back and wear some tires on that 66 machine. Randy Arms able to go by and can open up the door for Blevins. First little contact here. We said, drives like a short track shenanigans. Landwehr the first victim to it. Looks like it's single file throughout the field. You got Scott Kelly a little ways off, but otherwise everyone in a nice little line.
Yeah, we definitely see that at Dover, especially in the short run. Everyone's trying to get glued to that bottom. It's going to be kind of important on the long run to see who can stay glued to that bottom side of the racetrack. And we'll see the guys that don't take care of their tires start to slide up and become easy pickings for those behind them. Landwehr was the quickest that lap.
Yeah, and he's now making a move on Arms.
Trying to get that fourth position back. The top 8 all stayed the same. Only Ben Thomas is the only man to move up more than one position. And Dale does not like his first severe thunderstorm warning. I can definitely vouch for that. Not having a great time. Looks like a battle for the lead getting ready to brew here as Schwartz to the inside. He was taking a peek there. But he'll fall back in line.
Yeah, I think if you want a chance, you're going to have to unsettle him early. But even if you do still have the stage at lap 50, it's going to be a required pit stop for all, and you'll have to get back around him. Or at least keep him behind you. I think we might see a move here from Landwehr. He's trying to get around the outside of Lawton. And he's going to make it stick through 1 and 2.
So Landwehr back up into the podium positions after the contact from Lawton. No real concerns there. It was raced cleanly between both of them, despite the earlier contact. A little bit further back, Ben Thomas continues his charge up through the field. He's now up 3 positions.
Is that William Bowman crawling out on track? It is.
He'll be the only man a laps down, but due to the shorter nature of this track, he will be, in fact, 8 of them, unfortunately. Looks like we got some side-by-side action here. Pinder on Casey Brown. Brown drives it deep into the corner. He'll hold that position. Pinder all over the back of the 88 machine. Shields having a look. Michael McElroy also in that battle. 2 wide on the exit. Pinder going to take the high line to try and get around. That's pretty risky. It gets very tight. Off the exit of 4. Contact. 3 wide. Casey Brown hangs on to it somehow, some way. Michael McElroy going way up top. Eric Shields down below, splitting him. Looks like McElroy almost catches a piece of the wall. Right inside and outside the top 15. Back up front, batter for the lead again, though. The 58 of Shorts continuing to work on that inside line. We talked to Jared Lindsay in his winner's interview last week. Oh, he hits the wall. Trouble for the race leader. He's going to lose 1, maybe 2 spots here. Landwehr senses an opportunity. Look at the top 5 all going for it. Big right side damage for that 18. Now there's a definite possibility for someone else to snatch away a win here this evening.
They all smell blood in the water, and they're trying to get to it.
Now, Landwehr was instantly on the aggressive there. Randy Arm's going to be desperate to get by as well. He's looking to the inside. Jared Lindsay back to 4th. Joshua Lott will want to make this pass as soon as possible as well. And the complexion of this race has completely opened up. We were just getting ready to say Lindsay did not think he would be the fastest car here at Dover. Put it on pole, but maybe the long run speed finally not where he wanted it to be, was having to push the issue a little bit more.
Yeah, Short's actually able to get there, you know, put a little challenge on his back bumper, make him use his stuff.
The top 8, only 1.9 seconds nose to tail. Ryan Tiller continuing his impressive work. And in all of the chaos with the storms and everything, I realized that Tony Scarbo, I believe the 59 machine, is here this evening. So that'll give Ryan Tiller a nice cushion to that bubble.
I think Randy is looking to try and get P2. He was looking up under Landwehr there. Randy, little tighter through the corner. At least through 3 and 4 last time by. Not necessarily through 1 and 2. Drove it in real deep through 3 and 4. Almost opened the door for Jared Lindsay.
It looked like he was trying to get the exit off the turn number 4 there. Almost gets into the back of Landwehr. That's going to give Lindsay an opportunity. These guys are all squabbling over the 2nd position. Lawton still in the mix there as well. Side by side on the exit of 4. It's going to get a little tight.
Caution.
Caution out on the racetrack. Casey Brown, Michael McElroy. A little bit further back in the field here. Ooh, and I think McElroy comes. Oh, that's heavy contact for that 88 machine. Let's take another look at this here. A little bit of net code, but McElroy loose off of turn number 2. I believe that's Travis DeLeon into the back of McElroy as well.
Yeah, McElroy tried to lift just in case.
And it ends up with the 12 machine running into the back.
Oh, that's going to shake things up a little bit. William Bowman's going to get a lap back.
That's heavy, heavy contact there. So 3-car incident here. You see on board, McElroy comes down and clips the 88. Nothing intentional. McElroy was trying to give him some space to gather it back up if need be. William Bowman scoots through. But the big loser in this is Casey Brown and Michael McElroy. William Bowman will get that lap back. He's the only one eligible. But this will allow Jared Lindsay to get at least another opportunity to fix damage. He doesn't have to wait until the stage break. And it will allow everyone to come top off for fuel. And everyone should make it to the end of stage 1. We'll see if anyone elects to play the strategy game here. Casey Brown going to have to go a lap down as well. McElroy was able to get back up to speed, though. He'll stay on the lead lap, but nobody else electing to come in. Just the guys involved in that wreck. McElroy, Casey Brown, and Travis DeLeon and William Bowman. Going to come top off for fuel. It looks like maybe take some tires in an attempt to go long, but no tires for any of these drivers, it looks like. Just fuel only for the 53. Everybody else going to be fixing damage. Looks like, yeah, the light should go out on the pace car this time by. Let's get a quick word in from tonight's incredible LSRL partners while we get ready to go back to green. But a special shout out to SimRacerHub.com, GridFinder, Wilder Graphics, Butt Kicker, Sim3D, and all the amazing support they have for the Lightspeed Racing League. And looks like there was a checkup mid-pack. Looks like someone did not get going and heard some contact there. On the restart, field is scattered right off the drop the green flag, and Randy Arms is gone. With that, Casey Brown still on pit road. Travis DeLeon was able to get back out there, as was William Bowman and McElroy, but all with a bit of damage or laps down. But this could be what Randy Arms needed. He's got a slightly wounded car in second, could potentially hold up his competitors, and Randy could scoot away here to a stage win. Get himself right back in that fight for the regular season championship.
What I was really surprised by was, you know, the pitting of Schwartz and Landwehr there.
Absolutely. A couple guys did end up coming back down to pit, and it's 8th and 9th right now, 17 lap fresher tires. They should have an advantage. And we know Schwartz loves his alternate strategies. He's going to try and take advantage and get up to that lead and close the gap to Lindsay for that regular season championship. Look at that. No contest for Dean Clavitt, almost into the back of Cody B. Johnson in one corner. And he will pull down to the inside. He's leading this charge. Pinder also stopped on lap 17, as did Sean Anderson and Lucas Reed.
Schwartz still moving up through the field. Gets around Ryan Taylor with ease.
Around 4 cars in the last 2 laps have set his sights after Corey Blevins, only a tenth of a second ahead. 1 second the gap to Randy Arms. I don't see him struggling to get there. He was 4 tenths quicker while making the moves. And he's bringing Nathaniel Landwehr right with him. Gained a tenth of a second in turn 1 alone while making a pass. So here comes the 66 and the 58 as they look to try and win this stage. Gained half a second almost on Randy Arms that lap. And they're right up to the back bumper of the top 3. Next up is Joshua Lawton, who holds the low line pretty well, but Schwartz says, thank you very much. I'm going right around. 2 for 1. Can he get his nose around the outside? He has to back out of it. Landwehr into the wall. That got a little dicey.
And that checkup Landwehr put it all into the back of Schwartz. Now there might be damage on the front of that 66 machine.
Looks like right rear damage to the 58 as well. Yeah, absolutely can see a little bit of crinkle there.
Damage now on all 3 MoFlo racing cars.
They do have the 17-lap fresher tire advantage, and it still will be no contest. Off of turn number 2, he's going to poke his nose down to the inside. Randy going to drive it in a little deep, but through the center of the corner. Look at the difference in grip right through to the lead. Both of the damaged MoFlo racing cars, not severe. 17-lap fresher tires are king. They will be down 1 set of tires the rest of the race, though. And Pinder making moves. He's up to 6th. And he's ahead of Ryan Till. That's one of the guys that we said could sneak in. And he's doing the alternate strategy. Look at the grip difference. He's driving through these front runners.
I think
Scott Kelly's going to make a pit stop. Heavy right side damage for that 89. Pinder going to try and rip it around the top just like the 58 and 66 did. Going to get tight on corner exit, but he'll make the move there. Put him up inside the top 5. And he'll try and get around Jared Lindsay. Sean Anderson not making as much progress as we thought. Also pitting on lap 17. Lucas Reed did the same thing. And Michael McElroy, but he obviously was involved in the caution. And these are the 2 guys duking it out for the stage win on the fresher tires. Pinder around the outside of Jared Lindsay. Almost gets right hooked into the fence. Trying to go around the outside. He'll set his sights on Randy Arms. He will try to track down that top 2 as well if he can get clear of the 8 machine. Look at the grip difference. It's got to feel so nice. Gains 2/10 a corner almost. A little further back, battle of guys on old tires. Dean Clavitt, Corey Blevins, side by side for what is 9th position. Michael Davis trying to track down that 13, 1.7 seconds off of a stage point. And Pinder now all over the 8 of Randy Arms. Randy drove it in pretty good there, but Pinder just has superior grip center off. Let's get on board here. Randy has a very excellent corner in, all things considered, with those older tires. Pinder can just get back in the throttle a little bit earlier, almost wraps the corner too good and hits that apron. Gap now down 2/10 of a second. Randy will slide up on corner exit, and Pinder will arc it right down towards the bottom. But he did use a lot of energy, a lot of grip going around the outside of Jared Lindsay, so he might be facing a little bit of a wall here. But he still has plenty of time, 20 laps, and Randy's tires will continue to fall off and get even slower, and Pinder's will fall off and be, worn, but not as bad as what 50-lap tires will be for Randy Arms. So you would think, as long as Pinder didn't completely drive him off a cliff, that he will be able to make the move.
It'd be very exciting to see Pinder, top 3 in stage, get big old stage points there.
And that's Ryan Tiller's down in 7th, so he's going to have a net advantage there, but got to find a way around right now. Randy positioning that car perfectly to not allow him to get the nose inside on the front or back straightaway. But it's a car length and a half. Pinder just has to back it up a little bit more. He's trying, though. Randy, I think, is the quickest car on the track when they're all on the same tire set, though, so it's not going to be an easy task, but as we look away, Pinder finally gets to his inside. Randy will let that one go, and Pinder will have some clean air. Lost about a second there. And Short still holding steady, 0.3 of a second over Landwehr.
Another thing that could get pretty exciting here coming to the end of the stage. Schwartz is almost a second faster than those running, 14th, 15th, and 16th right now. Like, they could be in danger of going a lap down.
Yeah, that would cause some issues here. Pinder not able to pull away, so you could tell he spent a lot of time trying to get around the 8, and now he's not able to pull away, so his tires might have evened out, honestly, when Randy was in that clean air, but we'll see here. He's going way up the racetrack. Doesn't need to be doing that. Needs to run that line that he was running when trying to get around these guys, so all of a sudden, those tires have hit the cliff, and he'll give those spots right back. In danger of falling outside the top 5. But now he's back down at the bottom. Got a battle here for what is 14th position. Lucas Reed in the 10 trying to get around Ben Thomas. And Michael Davis ahead of Sean Anderson and Eric Shields. William Bowman still not for position. He's multiple laps down. Looks like Scott Kelly was on pit road and then towed into his box, so not sure what was up with the 89 machine.
You're saying McElroy is now, like, maybe a corner away from Jonathan Schwartz?
And with, what'll be 7 laps to go, his last lap was a 25.8, Schwartz 25.2. Got a crank it up redemption from Joshua McQuiggan. Should have waited 7 laps for the stage. Actually, we're going to do that. We'll give you the driver update. We'll do the crank it up on the restart. How about that? But McElroy was involved in our only caution of the race on lap number 16. Got loose off at turn number 2 and turned Casey Brown into the inside wall. And he runs 16th with considerable damage right where he started. Tell you what, Lindsay was able to get around Chris Pinder, so he's back in the top 5. Battle starting to close up right here at the tail end. Corey Blevins just barely hanging on to 10th place in one stage point. Ryan Tiller under a lot of pressure from Cody B. Johnson. As there are 4 laps to go until the stage. Shorts comfortably out ahead. Looking for that alternate strategy again. Let's go ahead and bring up the points as they entered tonight. Shorts was 10 points behind Jared Lindsay. This is going to go a big way into helping reclaim the overall lead of the championship. As Lindsay's down in 5th. Looks like Cody B. Johnson. Oh, big issue there down the front stretch. Clips the inside wall. Travis De Leon going to pit under green, so he's going to lose a lot of laps right before the stage.
I mean, he's already 4 down. But
let's take a look here. Through 3 and 4. Cody B. Johnson was putting Ryan under a lot of pressure. Drives it in deep. Ryan tries to crossover, but Cody B. Johnson into the outside wall, completely sideways. And then clips the inside wall, but heavy damage for that 04 machine. And he is now outside of the top 10, so Michael Davis is going to pick up a stage point here if he can hold on to 10th. But Sean Anderson does have those fresh tires and is starting to put them to use, as they both track down Corey Blevins and Dean Cladden in 8th. It's all kicking off right here on the last lap of the stage. Here comes Schwartz to take the flag. And here is the battle for 10th. It looks like they'll stay where they're at. side by side still.
And the caution just comes out.
All able to hold serve here. Let's go ahead and get a word here with your Stage 1 winner, Jonathan Schwartz. As we'll let him get into his box first off, and then we'll reset everything.
You say that, I already pulled him up.
Well, here with Jonathan Schwartz anyways. Hopefully this doesn't mess him up. But we love an alternate strategy. You pull it off again here and got some points back on Jared Lindsay for the regular season championship. What do you think you could give us in Stage 2?
Just got to keep the track position. It's really hard to pass at Dover, so having the lead and using the air to keep the guys behind you is going to be key to getting the win tonight.
Absolutely. Looks like a couple of the MoFlo guys, had some contact as they were charging through the field. Jared Lindsay has some as well, so it kind of looks like a slight race of attrition, and like you said, keeping that track position and staying ahead of any potential trouble that could arise here on this restart.
Yeah, definitely. If we can just keep it clean here and keep our track position, I think we'll be all right.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on the stage win, and good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thanks, guys.
You'd already moved
So
before
big,
I did.
Big move there. Lund able to get out P2.
Yeah. And he's one of the few guys that has avoided damage, as has Randy Arms, so we'll see what they're able to do. Pinder will come back 5th anyways. So who did he picked up a spot on Landwehr, who was fixing his damage. He had some right front damage that he desperately wanted fixed. So Pinder gets himself some track position here. We'll go ahead and reset the running order. We got one more quick partner we'd love to run here. In their support of LSRL, it's Grid Finder, so we'll go ahead and get a quick word in from them. Special thanks to Grid Finder for all that they do for the LSRL group of leagues and for all they do for iRacing. They're a great service for you to find your next league. Be easy to sort by dates, times, cars, all that good stuff. So they're a very useful resource. But yeah, look at the damage to the back of that 58. He didn't seem too concerned by it when we talked to him. We know a couple other guys have damage, so it's really going to be what can Joshua Lawton and Randy Arms do. They have the cleanest cars inside of the top 5. Landwehr has a little bit of damage, as does Lindsay. So we'll see what everyone else has for this 58. Randy was looking quick, but then obviously after that caution fell back on the alternate strategy. That was played out by a couple of guys, so we'll see how this ends up on the restart. It does look like Casey Brown is still trucking. Down in 20th, 10 laps behind Scott Kelly, who's still on pit road, so Brown might have a little bit of upward movement left in him. I think Travis DeLeon has called it a night. So 19 cars still in the session, 18 of them on track, and 16 of them on the lead lap. As what this could very well be the last restart of the night. And it's going to be all about the long run speed, taking care of your stuff, and put yourself in a position to get a good finish at the end of this thing.
And I think something we'll need to see here from this restart, can Randy get the jump with him? We've seen the leaders on the 2 restarts so far just get a massive gap between them in the second row. That outside line's able to just drop back inside, behind the leader. Randy's got to get himself in position to be on the bumper of Schwartz.
And that's what he's going to do is Schwartz enters the Geico restart zone. It's a great launch for the 58, and that'll put, like you said, Randy Arms side by side into turn number 1. The 40 should have momentum on the exit, maybe, but Randy drives it in really deep. Already up to P2 and right on the back bumper of Schwartz, who wiggled out of turn number 1. Randy trying to take him all the way down to the inside. Schwartz
He ships him
right up the racetrack, doesn't waste any time. Side by side. Schwartz with the momentum on the exit of turn number 4. Use that high side. You know Randy will drive it in deep on the bottom if he has to. Contact is made. There goes Schwartz up the hill. He's going to save it. We stay green and Schwartz all the way down outside the top 10. What a save. Let's take another look. He ships him up the hill. And then down into turn number 1, the contact is made. And around goes the 58 with an incredible save. I think he'll be too happy about that move, though. Right off the restart. Here's another look at it. He definitely comes up into him. But Schwartz does have a car in one piece. Definitely the tires are going to be worn. He's going to hope for another caution. That'll allow Lawton up into second. And they have broken away from the 2 damaged cars of Jared Lindsay and Nathaniel Landwehr in the 66.
Yes. Randy just not going to let us say that he was dormant. He was going to force the issue. He wants the lead. He wants to be out front.
He's got the clean air now, got the clean car. Jared Lindsay having problems early in the race. So he feels like this is his moment to get back in the win column, and he went for it. Nothing inherently malicious, but definitely an aggressive move, and that slight contact sent the 58 around, and he's stuck now in that 11th position with some worn tires right off the restart. Let's go ahead and crank it up. As the on-track action is also cranked up. Yeah, that's a good point, J Dow's. That were 2 guys that were both sliding around. Randy went in really low, arced the corner up, and then Schwartz was trying to diamond the corner a little bit down below, and there was slight contact. Wasn't anything where he completely put him in the fence, but it was just enough to get that 58 unsettled and almost sent him around.
And honestly, if it wasn't for the net code, it wouldn't have been as bad. But sometimes this game likes to play a little fast and loose with physics.
That was a fantastic save to even get him in contention. He's going to have to claw a couple spots back now. Lindsay still in position for the regular season championship, so that has definite implications. Look at this gaggle of cars here. 2x2 at Dover into turn number 1. We're still fighting hard in that 6th position. He's got the track position. Might have touched the wall there at turn number 2. Dean Clavitt was ruining his mid-pack start after qualifying, but he's worked his way up from the 11th position to 8th. And definitely can sense a top 5 on the cards. Maybe as Ryan Tiller's right there. Sean Anderson has cracked the top 10 again. The low line prevailing for Corey Blevins and now for Dean Clavitt. We'll see what Sean Anderson does. He's going down to the low side as well. And Casey Brown was able to get around Scott Kelly for 19th, so he did, in fact, pick up a position nonetheless. Still out there fighting in that 88 for every possible point. Battle for the lead potentially brewing, as Joshua Lawton was half a tenth quicker last time by. On board with the 40, doesn't need any explanation. That 8 machine of Randy Arms is right there. Still plenty of time to go in this race. We'll see how aggressive the 40 will be. gap is 2 car lengths.
And one of those things about being aggressive to make a move is like your competitors see it. They're gonna like run you the same way that you've run someone else. You ship someone else up the track, that's an open invitation for someone else to do it to you.
Race others as you like to be raced. It's a great point. Look at all this, though. Everyone right here. In a fierce battle just inside this top 10. Sean Anderson will get around. And a couple cars nose to tail here. And even behind that, Michael Davis with Schwartz still lurking, and Ben Thomas with Lucas Reed all over the back of him. So a lot of single file, but it's all pretty much nose to tail Landwehr all over Jared Lindsay. So 2 car lengths here between first and second, 2 car lengths here between third and fourth. 3 car lengths between fourth, or fifth and sixth, excuse me, and then another 2 car lengths. So it's all to play for. One little slip up can lose you at least 2 or 3 spots here, especially for Ryan Tiller. 3 cars within a second of you. If you miss a corner, the wall on the front stretch, you can find yourself in a world of trouble. Michael McElroy is going to be pitting here. Looks like he was just flying down pit road.
Yeah, and Travis DeLeon just disconnected, so if Casey Brown keeps running, that's going to be another spot. It's going to be a top 18.
Making the absolute best possible situation from what the cards he was dealt. Look at this right here. Michael Davis going to pick up a spot here on Pinder, get himself up to 9th. Schwartz would love to get back in the top 10 to salvage something. Those tires clearly are not what he needs at the moment. Pinder in the wall. Schwartz will move down to the inside and should take the spot away. And he will do so. In the 66 of Nathaniel Landwehr, all over the back bumper, just not able to find a way around. They both have slight damage and very similar cars in terms of pace. Let's look at the back of the 66 from a message that he is displaying to everybody 5th on back that we discovered last week. Audrey says you're slow, so 5th on back. Step up their game just a little bit. From a sold-out Dover International Speedway. Fans having a great time here tonight. They're being treated to an instant classic. Action all over the racetrack. We're just barely approaching the halfway mark. Looks like Lucas Reed getting passed there by Eric Shields, and then William Bowman still not for position. But I believe Michael McElroy has called it quits here tonight. That's another spot for Bowman and Casey Brown to pick up. As they're still fighting. Randy Arms had blinked there for just a second, so that'll be something to monitor the rest of the way. But he is now opened up the gap from about a car length and a half to 3 car lengths. Jared Lindsay, about a car length and a half to 2 car lengths, so really nothing there.
Yeah, these top 4 running about almost identical times.
Randy Arms 25 flat. Oh yeah, they're all within a tenth of each other. My goodness. 25.06 for Randy Arms, 25.11 for Joshua Lawton, 25.08 for Jared Lindsay, and 25.11 for Nathaniel Landwehr. So between the top 4, 0.05 of a second difference separating them. And that's with slight damage to this 18 and this 66, so it makes you wonder what they could do.
What I'm really going to be curious about is, I mean, we've seen people have difficulties with green flag pit stops here. That could just as easily possibly bring out, you know, our next caution and really heat things up, potentially bring Schwartz back into it.
It definitely could. Do we go green to the end? Prediction, use some channel points, get some goodies if you guess correctly. I'm still going to guess yes. But there is a lot of side-by-side racing for this far into the run, so these old tires, we'll see how they all hang on to it.
The fact that I can't vote is a travesty. But I also have no channel points. Because I am the channel owner. Yes. 4K on no.
That is a bold statement with LSRL, but there is a lot going on. It is Dover. It is Miles the Monster. And one more round of green flag pit stops. Yeah, if somebody calls it out and someone's not paying attention, if Ryan Tiller goes to pit and Sean Anderson's not right there with it, and especially if Corey Blevins pits and the guys behind him aren't quite ready, that could get ugly pretty quick. But I still think that they have enough ability to make it work. Here goes Eric Shields on Chris Pinder. Gets himself up to 11th. Pinder going to fight it back, though. Shields way up the racetrack, and 24 will take that spot away, but he's not clear on the exit. Good racing here for the 11th position. Hard but fair. Shields way up the track. Pinder will now be clear. Shields going to try and cross him over. Almost gets into that left rear, but he'll back out of it. Very respectful. That brings Lucas Reed right into contention. 27 might have clipped the apron there ever so slightly. Yeah. The top three, their last lap was a 25.26. And Nathaniel Landwehr in fourth ran a 25.28. Identical times here. It's all going to be won or lost on pit road with one more stop to go if they keep up this pace.
How early do you think you come in if you're trying to, like, if you're Lawton and you're trying to jump Randy?
You only need one lap, but the problem is you don't know when Randy's going to pull the trigger. You could follow him in very easily, so the onus is kind of on you. And you probably want to pit somewhat shortly after the pit window opens, just, you know. You don't
I think pit window opens and you got to come in.
Because if you wait and Randy pits from first, then it's, you know, you've missed your opportunity. So you're trying to, you have to be the one making the move, especially third and fourth. You have to come in a lap early. The pit road speed is so slow here. You got to take advantage of those fresh tires. These guys are still going at it. Back here, Pinder's slowly able to pull away. Lucas Reed wants a way through.
Might get a little complicated if William Bowman, you know, starts trying to make his way around.
He's all the way up to 16th. And he has been very clean and consistent.
A little too wide, I believe that's Blevins and Michael Davis. Davis trying to take the spot on Blevins.
Oh, and Blevins in the wall! There goes Schwartz! Oh, he killed the outside wall. Oh my goodness. Poor Schwartz just not having the go of things here this evening. Let's take a look at it. He just gets tight, tries to back out of it. Schwartz doesn't actually hit anything, but those poor tires are just going to be begging for mercy. Corey Blevins gets the worst of that one. And Schwartz will try and set off after him. That's going to be big, big damage for that 13. And Randy, the top two last lap, 25.34. Third and fourth, 25.37. They have a 10th in hand over the rest of the field.
Casey Brown might have another position. Michael McElroy is also disconnected.
Yeah, he'll get there in about 15 laps, so. As long as he carries on his current pace, he will get there. You're 1.6 seconds back. The top four all have a shot at the win here. Landwehr could come in 2 laps early and come out with the race lead. We are approaching that final fuel window. But obviously, what you don't want to do is wait. You want to get you know, as little laps on your tires as possible to be able to push to the end. But I think someone just ate the inside wall. Was that Cody B. Johnson? Somebody right in front of our leaders. That's Ben Thomas. And that has brought the gap down from 4 car lengths to 2. Let's back that up. I think he got really loose on the exit of turn number 2, or tight, however you want to call it. A little bit of connection issues. Hits the wall, down off the inside, bounces up. Randy's like, please don't come up in front of me. And that's exactly what was looking to happen there. But he does hold it down on the bottom with a damaged race car. And Randy will try and stretch that gap back out. That just lost them about 0.3 of a second back to 4th. So really the top 2 are equal, but those 3rd and 4th gained a little bit on that. And Schwartz is still making progress, gets around Dean Clavitt. Even with those worn tires, Dean's tires a little bit worse for wear there. He's definitely tight. And then while all that was going on, Landwehr finally makes the pass, catches him by surprise late move into turn number 1. And does a very nice job. Take another look at that angle if we can. Of Landwehr making the move and pulls out very late. Lindsay slides up the racetrack and gives it to him.
Surprised Landwehr's machine is running as well as it is with the damage on the nose of that.
1.2 seconds back. And he's pulling away from Lindsay, so he'll have a little bit of space to make that pit stop. Let's see how aggressive he decides to be with nearing 50 laps to go. And everything is to play for. Michael Davis going to pull the trigger. He thinks he can make it from here. Chris Pinder in as well, so they're going to take the chance here. There's a lot of action just inside and outside the top 10, so they're going to try and take advantage. 35 miles an hour, though. It's going to feel like an eternity on pit road. They're going to go 2 laps down. They'll get it back, but they are hoping that no caution comes out while they're on pit road.
I wonder if this might trigger something from the top 5, top 4, just to see.
Yeah, they'll know that even though they're running 13th and 14th when they pitted, they will be the fastest cars on the racetrack, so it is a data point for these guys at the front. I think if you're Lawton, if you can come in...
Lindsay's sideways on entrance.
And he doesn't hit anything, but my goodness. Jared Lindsay trying to give it everything he's got and somehow doesn't hit the barrels. But his shot of a win is gone, and even of a top 5. And suddenly Schwartz in 6th is sensing a chance to claw back more points. We talked about it. These green flag pit stops could be treacherous for some guys. Ryan Tiller, the first of your top 5 in, outside of Lindsay. But Lindsay, obviously, with those issues, he could have even sped trying to get that thing slowed down. We'll see. So Tiller will be one to watch. He's about 6 seconds back. And
Randy Arms in. Landwehr in. Landwehr hits the barrels.
Looks like these guys are struggling. Yeah, Jared Lindsay is, in fact, serving a penalty. So that's his race done. Randy in. Let's take a look here. The 66 really tried to get all of it. I mean, he's going to have to serve a penalty, too. Joshua Lawton making up for his pit road entrance last season. Sean Anderson coming in. He nails it. Jared Lindsay still on pit road. Left side's going on, and he's away, but a whole lap behind. There goes Randy. Landwehr. Yep, he's serving a penalty. Joshua Lawton coming in. He's going to make up ground here. Dean Clavitt, Sean Anderson. So a couple of mistakes. And away Lawton goes before Landwehr is even out of the box.
It's going to be a close one, but Randy's going to be right there.
He is away with the 1 lap fresher tires. That's all he needed. It was about 0.2 of a second. Now it's 0.9, but Randy in some traffic. But Lawton with the 1 lap fresher tires, so we have a race. It's a couple of guys that short pitted. This is going to work out perfectly for them because the guys that made mistakes on the pit road, Nathaniel Landwehr down to 13th, Lindsay down to 14th. Lucas Reed might be serving a penalty. He's 31 seconds in the box. Looking likely.
I think... Oh, wait, no. Blevins is just now coming in. I thought he was just serving a penalty. No, he was on the lead lap.
Schwartz is staying out in hopes of a caution. I tell you what, Landwehr so aggressive. He was trying to make up that 1 second gap. Spun out, hit the barriers, and almost hit Randy Arms in the process. Randy's got 0.8 of a second with 1 lap older tires with 45 laps remaining. And a lot of these guys suddenly find themselves inside the top 10. Landwehr 30 seconds back from these guys battling, and it's just gone very, very wrong. Schwartz, as it stands, will be back in the regular season championship lead. But he obviously has to make one more pit stop. Corey Blevins has the freshest tires, and he'll come out 10th. So that's worked out well for the 13 machine. When does Randy Arms elect to pit? But Joshua Lawton is closing. Only half a second, and these are guys with fresh tires in front of Randy Arms. Corey Blevins just came out of the pits. Lawton's just going to sit here and bide his time. That's the race leader. These guys are going to unlap themselves. And the gap is now down to nothing, and Lawton has that 1 lap, and that 1 lap could mean everything over the next 40 or so.
Especially if Randy has to try and fight to even get around Blevins.
Oh, he's sliding up the racetrack. He's taking more life out of those tires, and Lawton's just sitting here watching it and enjoying every second of it. Corey Blevins is trying to stay on the lead lap because this will be the net leader once Schwartz pits. And Lawton, he's enjoying this right now. You gotta think Lawton might be in the catbird seat. A little bobble there from Blevins. Randy will go through, but Lawton has to back out of it slightly. Now they got a car in between them, 2.5 car lengths. Now it's Lawton's turn. I think Corey Blevins just gets out of the way. That's not what Randy Arms wanted to see.
Schwartz is still going.
.40 laps to go and they hit the stripe. Joshua Lawton has only made 1 start and wrecked out of it. So in his second start, looking to go to victory lane. And he is there. You don't need the cockpit cam for that to tell you that he is all over him. And Corey Blevins is all over him. Might try and find a way back around him. Thinks he's faster, trying to unlap himself. But this has put Michael Davis up to 4th. Sean Anderson up to 5th. He just got around Ryan Tiller. Chris Pinder up to 7th. Dean Clavitt 8th, Cody B. Johnson 9th, Corey Blevins 10th, fighting to unlap himself. And he is looking quick. He has much fresher tires than our top 2. Jonathan Schwartz is finally in, and he will be flying at the end of this thing. Very quick.
Problem is he's going to be doing that while potentially a lap down. Lawton is there at his bumper. He's looking inside. He's going to have... Ooh, he does not.
Into turn 1. Randy way up the racetrack. Joshua Lawton through to the race lead. We've said it might come down to these two, and that's the way it looks like right now. So Lawton has 1 lap fresher tires. And the clean air.
Yeah, it looks like it just did not want to stick on the outside of 1 and 2 for Randy.
He's definitely not out of it if he can somehow cool those tires down. Still plenty of time left, and we know he's got the speed. He was holding him off the entire time after the restart. He's got to find a way back into it. Cody B. Johnson is now back on pit road. Schwartz will end up in 9th with much fresher tires than everybody. And he should be able to unlap himself and make a charge maybe up even into the top 5. With 35 laps remaining. Yeah. Joshua Lawton was on pit road for 51.08 seconds. Randy Arms was on pit road for 51.1 seconds exactly. So a net wash for both of these drivers. It was strictly down to the on-track performance. And Lawton is getting around. He slides up the hill there a little bit, though. The closest battle on track is the battle for the race lead. It's what you love to see. And Randy is right there. Lawton slides up the hill again in turn number 4. It allows him to get a good exit, but slightly compromises his center. And Sean Anderson is still flying. He's about 0.8 of a second. He's got 5 lap fresher tires. We could be looking at a Sean Anderson podium. I think Michael Davis catches the wall there. He was one of those guys to pit right at the start of this on lap 95. So we're looking at a Sean Anderson podium for the first time this season.
I think that's one guy I don't know if we've ever got to talk to him. I don't think he's ever been in voice. So that'll be interesting.
He will. We'll see if he shows up. Lawton able to get the gap from a car length and a half to 3. William Bowman's right there in the mix. He's also trying to unlap himself again. But he's running good lap times with those fresher tires. And here comes Sean Anderson. 5 lap fresher tires. It should be no contest down into turn number 1. And he is clear up into the podium positions. Looks like Cody B. Johnson is flying through there. Makes the pass on Lucas Reed with his fresher tires. Schwartz will have 8 lap fresher tires to track down Corey Blevins. So he's going to interfere here with the leaders. He's going to want to unlap himself. He has no sets of tires left, though. Pitted on lap 17, took tires, won the stage, pitted at the stage, and then pitted on lap 111. So he is out of tires. And he's pretty much just going to go balls to the wall and hope for no caution, because he does have the freshest tires in the field with Cody B. Johnson. But first, he has to unlap himself. Lawton now pulling away over half a second. Corey Blevins right there. Doesn't want to interfere, but you got to think if you're Schwartz, you're just going to drive around these guys. You have much fresher tires, nothing to lose. This is a battle for position here. This is the lucky dog. If you're Corey Blevins, you really shouldn't defend this too much, because Schwartz is going to drive on by you on fresh tires, and he's going to unlap himself in the next couple of laps.
And he really didn't, put too much work into defending that.
The only problem is when guys like Pinder or Dean Clavitt potentially...
There was contact there between Schwartz and Randy Arms. Little hostility from when Randy Arms sent, Schwartz all the way back.
That's got to be on his mind. But it's off again. Let's take a look here. Out of turn number 2. Oh yeah, just letting him know that he's there. I'm on fresh tires. I'm trying to get my lap back. Yeah, that's just a little bit of a reminder saying, hey, I still remember that move coming up on playoffs. Schwartz does get around, though. Just sending a message. Don't think it'll be too much of a factor, though. It looks like Randy Arms' tires have fallen off slightly. They are facing lap traffic, though. But a 10th and a half slower last lap. Lawton way up the hill. Randy will benefit slightly on this lap.
I think Lawton saw Schwartz and was just like, I'm going to let him go.
He'll lose a 10th, but still pretty clear out back. And he'll try and navigate some of the heavier lap traffic, but some of these guys are on much older tires, so Ben Thomas shouldn't have any issue. Schwartz up to 8th. He realistically could get all the way up to 4th. He's almost a second a lap faster than some of these guys. But doing a nice job. On his alternate strategy.
And I just want to say, I think that, you know, the little bump there from Schwartz to Randy might just be a, hey, I'll be seeing you next race.
It could be, very well be like that. But Pinder's going to walk out of here with the top 10 in all likelihood. Very good result from him tonight. He's the biggest mover currently. As long as he can hold on to what will be 8th position. Schwartz is the man on the charge. Next up for him is Dean Clavitt, who's just right up the road. Landwehr and Lindsay both finishing outside the top 10. And what did I say about Joshua Lawton pre-race, sir? What was that?
Say he was really fast, had a chance.
And he's going to end up winning the son of a gun. Your pick to win is going to be 12th, maybe 11th. One for the good guys.
Who would have guessed?
Right?
What do you mean one for the good guys?
What a topsy-turvy race. There goes Schwartz again. He's only 4 seconds back of Ryan Tiller for a top 5. With 20 laps to go. His last lap. A 23.93. Schwartz a 23.83, so he's going to have to clear this traffic and get back after it. But the tire difference is almost 15 laps between 5th and 6th. So he'll be on the charge now. 3/10 quicker last lap than Tiller. Sean Anderson comfortable in 3rd. Could he be Johnson on pit road again? He might be calling it quits here tonight. And Lawton going to lap up to 8th here, maybe 7th. Schwartz is actively pulling away from him, though, so it really should stop at 6th.
Depending on if they can get to Ryan Tiller. He was 2/10 faster that lap than Ryan Tiller.
He is closing the gap. .6 seconds in closing.
Just the things that can happen whenever we go green at a short track.
Pinder closing in on Dean Clavitt here. Dean Clavitt actually has fresher tires, but lost a little bit on that last lap, so might have caught a piece of the wall there. It looks like he did some damage on the right side of that 56. In clean air, Schwartz is about 0.3 of a second quicker. Gap now down to 2.5 seconds. Pinder trying to find a way around. This is right in front of the race leader, by the way. They're fighting for the lucky dog, and Pinder will eventually yield way. Randy 1.6 back. Hoping that he gets held up. Dean Cloud, I don't think, will put up too much of a fight, though. Randy will have to get through this traffic as well. He does gain 0.2 of a second this lap, but now Lawton is clear. Lawton has really turned it on here on the long run. And now 7th and 8th back to fighting again. Pinder trying to make the move stick on the exit of turn number 2, side by side. We can just hang on that left rear quarter panel. Not able to drive it in that deep, though. He's going to wash up ever so slightly. Almost contact made, and Dean will get very tight up on the exit of the corner. Pinder has the advantage.
Pride of Canada racing the actual Pride of Canada.
Isn't that funny? And Pinder will take the spot away back into 7th. Dean loose off of turn number 2. Randy will go on through. He's going to lose roughly the same 2 or 3 tenths that Lawton lost. So we're back to 1.6 seconds. Jonathan Schwartz tires have started to fall off. He's maintained about that 2.7 second gap, with 12 laps to go. Doesn't look like any other positions are going to change hands. The only thing is maybe Michael Davis pushed it a little bit too far on fuel. That's about it. That is really about the only question mark left in this race. Fuel run anywhere from 54 to 57. So he should be good, as long as he filled it up all the way. Dean Clavitt trying to fight back. That's about the only battle we have. His long run speed has played out. The pit road mistakes have played out. Eric Shields with a solid top 10. Will be his second this season, if he can hold on to a 3.5 second gap with 10 laps to go. Sean Anderson, his first podium of the season here in the next 10 laps, if he can hang on to a 2.5 second gap over Michael Davis. And Randy Arms 2 seconds back from your race leader, Lawton, making his second start of the season.
Imagine winning in your second start. Just don't sound right. Might start accusing people of cheating. Where you get them grip hacks?
Remember, his first start here last season at Dover, missed pit road under the green flag conditions, was the dominant car, and he's probably had this one circled for redemption, and he's doing a nice job. Ryan Tiller is actually catching Michael Davis here very late. He had about 2 tenths on him that last lap. He is on 3-lap fresher tires, so this could be a battle for 4th here. Got Eric Shields in between them. And then Dean Clavitt is being caught by Corey Blevins in the late going here as well. And those are the 3 battles we're monitoring, with just 6 laps to go.
I think the battle you should be monitoring is your house versus the weather.
It actually held up surprisingly well. Lucas Reed yields way, very respectful. Tell you what, William Bowman battled back to a top 15 after missing the start of this race. It's really about all you can ask for. Casey Brown picked up 3 spots after being involved in our first caution. Out of the race, Scott Kelly, though he's been on pit road. Travis DeLeon will come home 19th. Michael McElroy 18th. Casey Brown, even though he's still running, will get 17th. Not enough time to catch Cody B. Johnson, who's on pit road. So your bottom 3 are out, and 16th is out, but both on pit road, and then 15th on are still on track.
Lawton is actually running faster lap times than Jonathan Schwartz by about a 10th.
And Schwartz has definitely put those tires to use. He'll come up just a little bit short of that top 5 that I thought he could get to. 3 laps to go, and Corey Blevins is all over the back bumper of Dean Clavitt. Anyone else wants a shot at it, they're going to have to tangle here in the next lap and a half. But he is there. Has 3-lap fresher tires. How hard will Dean fight it? A top 10 is guaranteed for him either way. Coming to 2 laps to go. Off of the exit of turn number 4, almost gets to that left rear. Joshua Lawton doesn't know it, but this is very close, and now Dean will slide up the racetrack with those older tires. Corey Blevins trying to get clear, and he'll do so. Nice move right at the end of the race. Joshua Lawton will work through turns number 3 and 4. If you bet that we'd go green to the end, well, unfortunately, you come out on the wrong side of that. Race is official, white flag in the air. Works through 1 and 2 for the final time. Gonna catch Jared Lindsay almost. And working through 3 and 4, the dominant car after the final round of green flag pit stops. Joshua Lawton, in his second start of the season, will pick up the checkered flag here this evening.
And he makes it look absolutely easy.
Randy Arms, P2. Sean Anderson will come home 3rd. Michael Davis was pressured late by Ryan Tiller, will hold on to 4th. Tiller 5th, and Jonathan Schwartz rounds out the lead lap cars here in 6th. And Chris Pinder, the first car, 1 lap down in P7. All in all, a very solid race here this evening with a surprise winner. The Jared Lindsay reign of terror is over after 3 weeks. But he was definitely in there until a green flag pit stop was his undoing. Randy Arms has got to wonder what he's got to do to get back into the win column.
And we've stopped picking him, so it's not our fault.
And Lawton backed it into the inside front stretch wall there. Cracked the rear end of the car open. Definitely some, going to have to take him to an R&D later on in the week. But he is burning it down. Well deserved.
Just let me know when you want him in here.
Alrighty. We'll go ahead and let's get him in here. Joshua Lawton with a heck of a celebration. Motor just blown. Your second start of this season. And you come home a winner here tonight. Talk me through that last green flag run and how you're able to make the difference.
And I don't know. The car just felt good. That last run. I wanted to pit 1 lap later than Randy, just so I could be more on the offensive. And I think I got a really good stop. And she just, I don't know if 30 air makes that big of a difference, but I'll tell you what, man, that thing was rolling there that last run. I could really let the car kind of do what it wanted to and keep the drive off. So, man, happy to get the win. Been struggling here a little bit, just not putting the time in. And Dover's probably one of my best tracks, and I think it showed tonight. It had an awesome race with Randy there. Got a little worried that I wasn't going to be able to get by him. I felt like we had the really good long run car. The first part of that second run, I found something there at the end before the stage break, and I tried it there early in the run, and it actually hurt my tires. So I had to back off, regroup, and start going after it again. But glad to get the win tonight. Yeah,
one of our most memorable clips from our first season was your last run here at Dover. One of the dominant cars of that day and ended up missing pit road, and a couple guys made mistakes here tonight, but it looks like you had this circled on the calendar, executed the green flag stop perfectly, and definitely had the long run car to beat. Randy might have had the short run car, but we went green, and that long run speed came out like you said, and whatever you found ended up bringing you here to victory lane.
Yeah, man, I'm just super stoked. Yeah, last year, I think, is that what happened? Probably pit deal here. It always seems to bite me, but I just knew I did a practice run, and I had a gauge of where I needed to live to be safe. And I don't know if I have to look at times. I don't know if I just beat Randy that much through pit road, getting on and off, but I thought he'd have a larger gap. And when I came out and seen he was only like 0.7 ahead of me, I knew I had a good run with fresher tires. I knew I should be good. I didn't know if he was playing possum or not. That was my own thing. And then when I started to pull away there after I got by him, I'm like, I just need to get by him, save clean air, and try and set my pace. And I did that, and it worked out.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it was a well-earned win here this evening. Congratulations on it. It was fascinating to watch play out, and let you get any final shout-outs in.
I just want to thank all the guys at Phase 2 Motorsports for believing in me and letting me be part of the team. Liquid Moly Motor Oils and Additives for being on board, and all you guys for putting on this broadcast. Everyone at on the league for all the hard work they do. Randy, I know he does a lot of work for the Tuesday night deals. So just glad to be a part of it, and hopefully we can come back next week and repeat.
Absolutely looking forward to it. Congratulations again on a well-earned victory.
All right, thank you.
Here with P2 Randy Arms, who's got to be wondering what does he need to do to get back to victory lane. Looks like he had the short to intermediate speed tonight, but just that long run speed, that last 100 or so laps after the green flag pit stops. Looks like Lawton was just that little bit quicker. Green flag pit stops were pretty even. No mistakes there like some of the competitors. You kept a mostly clean race, a couple incidents with shorts there, but talk me through that last run and what you felt different than in the first run.
Yeah, it was just a little tighter that run. I don't know. I ran those couple laps besides Blevins, and I don't know if that just got the right front just a little hot, but the run before that, before the green flag stopped, I knew Lawton was a little better than me, but I thought if I could stay in front, I could keep him back there just because of the air and everything. And so I wanted to get the pit road before him. And then I was like, oh, I think I can just stay in front of him. But something about that last run, and it was just a little bit tighter, and so that's all it took. And I was trying some different lines and stuff there, but just couldn't find the speed there at the end.
Yeah, it definitely looks like you were experimenting for grip, but yeah, nevertheless, another great race for you. 3 wins already on the season, a bunch of runner-ups. I mean, you're definitely a championship contender, but coming down to that final race here, if you make the championship 4, you're going to have to obviously probably end up winning it with how staunch this competition is. I know Schwartz was always there, Lindsay, Landwehr. I know they had some mistakes on pit road, but really we had 5 cars under a blanket at one point. You guys were running identical lap times after that stage 1 restart for a handful of laps, so the competition tonight was really tough.
Yeah, I knew it. It was going to be tough tonight. Jared's always fast, Nate's always fast, Schwartz, he's sometimes he's fast, sometimes he's extremely fast, then sometimes he kind of comes and goes. But he was quick tonight. I don't really know what happened between me and him. I think we just barely touched, and for some reason just sent his car sideways. But I'll talk to him there. And of course Lawton showed up tonight, so he's always been good here. So I knew that he was going to be tough to beat, and I just figured if we stayed clean, this track will come out and bite you pretty easily, with either pit road speed or just, just hitting the wall. And it seemed like everybody that was around me kept, making mistakes, but I just couldn't get Lawton to make one there at the end so we could bring her home.
Yeah, absolutely. Nevertheless, though, another great result for this 8 team, and definitely has some momentum headed towards the playoffs here in 2 weeks. Let you get any final shout-outs in.
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. This track's tough, and for only to have, I think, one real caution besides the stage, that's pretty impressive. And so I just want to thank you guys for putting on these broadcasts. So you guys do a great job, and can't wait to go back and watch it again.
Absolutely appreciate the kind words, and looking forward to seeing you next week at Kansas.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Yep. And here with our 3rd place finisher tonight, Sean Anderson, highest finishing Ford in his first podium of the season. It was an up and down night. Started 8th and kind of fell back in that first stage, but he was saving his tires and came on late there. And then on the second run after that last green flag pit stop, kept it clean, getting on and off of pit road when some other competitors fell by the wayside, and just was laying down some consistent laps and able to keep the car clean at a very challenging race for a lot of guys, and you come away with a 3rd place finish tonight.
Thank you guys, I appreciate that. Yeah, it was a tough race. I was just trying to be easy on the tires at first, and then I realized I was kind of taking it too easy and tried to go hard in those last 2 runs there from lap 50 to 100 and 100 to 150, and just didn't have the pace the leaders had. Didn't quite figure the track out early enough, but still a good finish, good points day for me today.
It definitely looks like you learned a lot about the tire over those 50-lap runs. We'd look up and you were, I think, outside the top 10, maybe down in 15th at one point, and then you just slowly climbed your way back up, got right in the mix for the stage points, and then over that last run, you were able to lean on those tires a little bit more and start pushing, and you wind up in the podium.
Yeah, that first run there, the first stage, when I pitted, I fell back too far to be able to get too many stage points, and kind of fell too far back to be able to try to even keep up with the leaders there. And just took me time on pit road, tried not to make any mistakes, get any penalties like a lot of the guys did, and that definitely cost me some time. But still happy with the third place finish. Still trying to figure out these cars and hopefully get ready for the playoffs here soon.
Absolutely did a very, very nice job here tonight of that. Just being clean and consistent when others didn't. Come away with a solid finish. And we got one more race for the regular season for everyone to lock in. And looking forward to seeing what you could do. You are, I think you came into the night 6th, I believe, in points. So this will definitely help that cushion and get you off that bubble watch. Just need to probably start next week and you're in. Definitely a clean and consistent season for you so far.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Hopefully we can get some more speed in the car and do a little better in the playoffs.
Absolutely. We'll let you get any final shout-outs in that you might have.
Just some shout outs to the guys I race with, Cody Johnson, Jeff Rudick, Lucas Reed. They always help me out and do a good job. Give me tips every once in a while. We try to help each other out and trying to figure this game out. We're still new to it, so we're getting there.
Absolutely. Well, a podium is well-deserved tonight, and definitely learned a lot. So congratulations again, and we'll see you next week at Kansas.
Thank you, guys.
Yep. Here with some of the Speed Zone guys, Ben Thomas, Casey Brown, Eric Shields, and Ryan Tiller. Kind of a mixed night. Ryan Tiller picks up another top 5, moves himself off the bubble talk. Eric Shields picks up a top 10. Ben Thomas had a couple run-ins with the outside wall, but he still secures a top 15. And then obviously we saw Casey Brown unfortunately involved in our one caution outside of the stage here tonight. What did you guys see out there in the cars?
A lot of heat in the tires. It was once you got about 20 laps in, and it was very tight, and throttle control and working the car was a lot. It was fun though. Typically don't really like this track, but Lady Luck found our way. Hopefully we maintain her on our good side for the rest of the season. But yeah, it got tight. I will say that. Like these cars, once you get wearing the tires, those right sides fall off quick.
Yeah, we saw a lot of guys get into that outside wall. And then especially the green flag pit stops. We know last season some guys had trouble with it, and definitely again this season, spinning onto pit road or missing it entirely, hitting the barriers. It was definitely a challenging pit road as always tonight.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. You first.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say it seemed like pit road entry was just giving a lot of people trouble because I know I gained a couple spots that way. I was just trying to be as careful as I could all night. I fight my right front, so right off the bat, I was just trying to save and work from there. And hopefully, I just kind of hope that people would kind of come back to me. But
yeah, absolutely. Ben Thomas, you were battling out there with some right side damage though, but able to gain 6 spots from where you started tonight. So definitely move through the field a little bit tonight.
A little bit. I mean, it helps when people in front of you have a bad night. So, still, like I said before, I'll keep saying it. Still learning, still trying to make progress, and learning how to drive the Xfinity car.
Yeah, absolutely. Not an easy track to come to and learn, but didn't really cause too many issues, if any at all. A couple bounces off the wall, but nobody mad at you. No, Miles the Monster did not claim another victim here tonight, so we'll take what we can get.
Yep.
And unfortunately, Casey Brown was one of the victims of Miles the Monster. Not really his fault. Tiny bit of netcode, but another car got loose on the exit 2. We see that a lot here, but ended your race really before it could get going. Probably based on qualifying and knowing that you're able to stay mostly mistake-free. Probably had a top 10 car tonight, but never really got the chance to show it.
Yeah, it was definitely frustrating to get involved in an accident that early. It's just how the seasons went. It's just it sucked. I can't wait for next season already. But no, I talked to McElroy. Everything's good. Just it was net code. Nothing we can do in that situation. So We just continue to get bad luck. I switched paint schemes, thinking maybe a green car has something to do with it, but I just don't know. I just don't know at this
Yeah.
point. So we'll just keep fighting and learning, and we'll just keep going, I guess.
Absolutely. Perseverance award though for you tonight. I usually could have called it quits, but picked up a couple spots, obviously as a consolation, and definitely appreciate you staying in the race.
Yeah.
So many others would not have.
No, I typically try to stay out there and gain as much knowledge as I can, but just definitely frustrating. And we'll put on the trailer and we'll go to wherever the hell we're going next week.
Absolutely. We're headed to Kansas next week, regular season finale, and then at that point, might as well start hunting for some wins and seeing what we could do for the last couple races of the season.
Yep.
Yeah, hope to put on another top 5 performance next week. So.
Absolutely. Kansas should be a good one, fellas. Looking forward to it.
Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Thank you, guys.
I didn't realize that I actually had engine damage.
Look at my pin entry if you don't mind.
Jared Lindsay, you got a copy, sir.
I do.
Art jinxed you. We finally were able to jinx you off a win. But in that first run, it looks like you and even Landwehr, you guys, really there was a top 5 that all had race-winning speed. A couple cars got damaged early. It was kind of back and forth, race of attrition, mistake-free, but the green flag pit stops ultimately what ended up costing you and the 66 tonight of a good finish.
Yeah, I've never ever finished on the lead lap in a Dover race in a league race. Ever. I said I wasn't going to run that well here. I just wanted to get out of here with a top 5, but we'll go to Kansas, which is all right, and then Iowa's. I got a star next to that one.
There you go. But definitely a championship contender. Even so, you can't be perfect every week. So just kind of flush it and move on. Got the most wins on the season, so you kind of just like, all right, we did it, and we move on, and we're in the playoffs, But it does kind of narrow that gap between you and Shorts, though, for that regular season championship, though. So that's all to play for next week.
Yeah, we should be tied. Josh, are you gonna be racing with us for the rest of the season?
If I can, I don't know. I'm not committed to anything.
Yeah. Last year we had a literally 150 lap battle at Iowa. Like it was never ending.
Mm-hmm.
It was never ending. So I hope he races because that'll be fun to run there again. But we're tied. Point. I did the math. It should be tied with Schwartz for the points lead. It should be a 0-out tie, and then Nate, I think it should be about 16 points off, and then Randy should be about 15 points off. It's going to tighten up a lot, so It'll be interesting to see going into Kansas. It's not a stellar track for me, but I can guarantee I'll get a top 5 coming out of there. So
putting it in the air now. We'll see how it works out, but looking forward to it. It's sure to be a great one. A lot of racing there able to do at Kansas, and it's going to be exciting. Nathaniel Landwehr in the 66, almost a carbon copy, racing inside that top 5 early on. Right with the leaders, a little bit of damage here and there, some contact, and then really just that green flag pit stop on lap 98, or not lap 98, it was 99. But yeah, that's kind of the undoing for a couple of guys tonight.
Yeah, it's a tough pit road there at Dover. Tried to take as much speed as I can in there, and once you're on old tires and your brake bias is already low, trying to get as much rotation out of the car with it goes tight to loose, and you're trying to get rotation out of it, but I tried to get on the brakes, it just slid out from under me, couldn't slow it down enough, and hit the barrels, and there it is. Speeding penalty, right coming on the pit road, already had damage, just a tough night.
Yeah, no one can argue that you weren't going for it there. You're about a second back, ended up almost in the rear bumper of Randy Arms on pit entrance, so you definitely were going for it. It would have been exciting to see what the race would have played out like if you're able to get that thing woed up. But same thing, though. You're a championship contender, marching towards the playoffs, and in the hunt next week for Kansas for what's sure to be a thrilling regular season finale.
Oh, yeah.
Well, appreciate the time as always, fellas, and looking forward to next week.
Yep, thanks for broadcasting.
Of course. Appreciate it, fellas. And then here, which always seems to be like the CMS voice channel is getting bigger week after week, but
we party.
Having a great time tonight with the Chris Pinder biggest mover and a P7.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't notice how good I was tonight.
But took the alternate strategy, pitted on lap 17, was flying up through the field, got some solid stage points, fell back a little bit after the restart, but got it all back just by being mistake-free in those last couple of runs and not speeding on pit road or not wrecking on pit road.
Yeah, no, I just drove the car, finished the race. Full stop.
It's just that easy.
I guess so. I don't have that much difficulty getting on pit road here, but apparently a lot of people do.
35 miles an hour throws everybody off, apparently.
Yeah, you just hold the brake a little longer.
That's some Pinder or what?
What was that, Zach?
I was asking Pinder for lessons.
But yeah, great result for you tonight. Travis,
a great race with Dean Clevitt at the end. I don't know if you caught that. It was a lot of fun.
You were involved in a lot tonight. You had some solid airtime. So
nice, good.
Michael McElroy, I think he left because he knows what I'm about to say.
Well, I'm here.
Oh, he is here. You caused the only non-stage caution of the race. So
debatable.
Yeah,
it was net code.
Got a little loose up turn too.
It was
either way, you were involved in the one caution that wasn't the stage, and it kind of, that was
it. Because of that, I'm officially retiring. Just not cut out for it.
Yeah, then,
I'm washed up.
Yeah, then brake check Travis for his troubles too. So.
Yeah, I was actually so I felt really bad for getting loose, so I was trying to check up a little bit, and then every time I hit the gas, the rear end was trying to come back around again. So I was just kind of trying to slowly take back off because I think I did some damage to my right rear. And yeah, Travis just came in like
you're the low line.
Travis
I was watching the dude that hit the wall. I was.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect Mike to be stopped either, so I like it.
Apologies to Casey Brown. He came and talked to me right after it while he was getting his repairs done. We're all good. But yeah, it is unfortunate. And near the middle of the race, I was just like, you know what? I feel like I'm a weapon on this field right now, and I'm just gonna go ahead and pull it off.
We always admire accountability here at YJ Media, so we can appreciate that. Travis, did you get tacos like you did last week, or you just hanging out?
No, I had pork and potatoes.
There you go.
I wish I had tacos.
Yeah, William Bowman, you missed the start of the race. Somehow got a top 15. Very unlucky. You probably you honestly kept it really composed. Didn't really see you have any issues. You were up front with the leaders at one point. Looks like you had some decent speed in the car tonight.
Yeah, I think it would have been a good race if I wouldn't have fell out right at the beginning. Lost 6 laps, but that's seems to be the common thing for me lately.
Was it storm, internet, power? What was going on?
Whatever my computer doing to me.
Oh man,
you got to attach his packet better. Keeps losing it.
Yeah, who knows?
I've got to use zip ties, duct tape, whatever it is.
I regained power approximately 3 minutes before the race started.
Spike or something.
That's crazy.
We had probably the most severe thunderstorm I've ever seen. Like we get hurricane season down here every once in a while, but like that was incredible. I couldn't believe it. I was like, well, there's no way we have power when we get home. Sure enough, we don't. It comes on 3 minutes before. I was like, well, the internet's not good. Come back on. Internet came on about a minute before we loaded in, and it was wind. Trees were falling over. Heard everything. Trash cans probably gone. Got to go get that here. I couldn't believe it. I was like, we're just waiting to drop out this race, and somehow we held on. It was incredible.
That's crazy.
I mean, it was pitch black driving home. We had everyone stopped on the side of the road. I was like, you know what? We're gonna go for it. We're gonna just kind of sneak our way down the interstate at 30 miles an hour and try and get here.
The storms have been crazy everywhere, it seems like, lately.
Yeah, this was probably, like, at least for our area, outside of a hurricane, the worst I've ever seen it. It was nuts.
Yeah, we got a good snowstorm the other day. It was wild.
I don't believe that.
Damn it.
I had to bust
He's from Canada.
Snowshoes just to get to my truck, Yeah,
I refuse to believe that. It's August.
It was a warm summer day.
Yeah.
33 degrees.
Yeah. Good
First
stuff.
swim in the lake after that.
Oh, yeah. But we'll end it all with a classic. What everyone have for dinner tonight?
Pizza.
Pork chops.
Pork chops.
And grilled pork chops and squash, zucchini, green peppers, and red potatoes.
All right, I'm not going to top that.
That's an official dinner, dude.
Yeah,
Restaurant.
it was an anniversary at his household tonight for sure.
Yeah,
I had nachos.
it's a normal night.
I had a chicken
I barbecued
chimichanga.
some hot dogs.
Ooh,
Very nice.
Had
What'd
some
you do with the hot dog
glizzies.
water.
I barbecued it so there was no water. Do
Glizzy
you
bean.
boil your hot dogs on the barbecue?
Gobbling some glizzies there, Pinder?
When did the
Pretty
term
good ones,
glizzy
sir.
become a thing?
Oh,
They're pretty
no.
good
You don't
mustard.
know.
Pinder's too old. He doesn't
Microwave them
understand
things.
that reference. Come on now.
He's used to gobbling those.
Oh.
All right.
Well,
it's CMS after dark.
About time to wrap it up. I had pulled pork sandwich, corn, and rice. So there you go.
Oh, that's nice.
It was.
Did you give the baby a little bite?
No, he was.
Has he tried anything yet?
No, he's not. He'll probably be getting ready to try whatever. I think they mix cereal in with it first, is what they recommend, or some sort of like rice cake thing. Yeah, I don't know. We'll probably throw that. He's always hungry, so we'll throw him some of that, and he'll love it. But
You go through less formula that way.
yeah, that's good. It's $35 a tub.
Yeah,
non-stem cell version.
Yeah, but if you ever ask where his college fund goes, that's where it goes. Stuff like that. But it was a good race, and looking forward to seeing you guys. We'll just see you guys randomly throughout the week, honestly, at this point. So.
It's actually pretty structured.
We pretty much just follow YJ around. Whatever league you're in, we're in.
Some of you show up. We're still trying to get Pendergrass on Fridays, but we'll get him.
He drinks on Friday, so it's
that doesn't stop
risky.
anybody. That's
drink
what,
though. Rod Car's the league to drink.
that's the one to
That's
do
the
it for.
driver's drink.
Yeah.
probably make it better. You couldn't do
Let
that.
us not forget at Pocono in 2 seasons ago when he just blew into turn 2. Absolutely, like he fell asleep driving.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's it.
Oh God, sorry, Pinder.
What?
We're teammates. Don't hit me.
All right, we're gonna end it on that. See,
Need help on the bottom, please.
good times. All right, your final thoughts on tonight's broadcast.
I mean, I was just happy to see Lon come out and get redemption for what happened last season. Man showed he had pace and, came through.
Said he found something that last run. I wonder what he found. Looked good.
Oh.
He was clean and consistent.
I would like to confirm, Pinder did say he would buy Philly Bean a hoodie, so
There you go.
he better come through.
You love to see it. But Joshua Lawton, your winner by 2.9 seconds over Randy Arm. Sean Anderson rounds out the podium here. 6 lead lap cars. Chris Pinder, first car 1 lap down, all the way down to Scott Kelly, who had some brushes with the outside retaining wall and kind of parked it after that. And that'll do it for us here this evening. We'll be back Friday night. Rod Car 9 Eastern 87s at Talladega, so that's going to shake up the running order a little bit. Tomorrow night, twitch.tv/raceaffinity and raceaffinity.com. ARS will be kicking off their next up season, so see the future stars of the Next Gen series make their debut. Everyone's real excited about that. Got some familiar names there that are trying to work their way back into it, and then got some complete unknowns that are going to try and earn their spot among the best of the best. So looking forward to that. Next Monday night, race number 2. The Affinity.
And Saturday.
Oh, yeah, and Saturday for the ARS Talladega 500 special event. Can't forget about that. Yeah, so we got a bunch of good stuff coming up. Be sure to follow all of the leagues. Make sure to stay tuned with what everyone's got going on. We will see you back here Friday night for Rod Car. Be sure to tune in Wednesday night for the ARS boys, and Saturday. Catch you later. Stay safe, and good night.